we've got a special guest with us in here today, like we said, like we promised you guys. We have a guy by the name of T Strike.
T Strike in the building.
I know. So tell me about how you got started. What made you come about to the type of music you make? Because like I was saying when we before the show started, I said that I knew him for trap kind of sounding music before it got really hot. Like he was doing stuff like that way before that. So, and I didn't really have a name for it, but now kind of have a context for it. So how do you come about making music like that before everybody else?
Honestly, so I've been doing music since I was about 11 years old. So I've been into the music scene before I gave my life to Christ. So I was always the turnt guy, you know what I mean, on the trap type stuff, because I, used to run in the streets and stuff like that for real. So, I mean, I came up on this side, and it was different. Like you say, when I first started doing Christian hip hop, was accepted. Now it wasn't accepted back then.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It was so different. It wasn't a lane for what's going on now. So when I first started, it was like, people was telling me, you gotta sound like Lecrae, you gotta sound like Flame, you gotta do music like how they doing, you know what I'm saying, in order for you to be accepted as a Christian artist. Sure. And so I did that for a few years, but then eventually I just got to a point where I was just like, this is not me, you know what I'm saying? I'm not fully being authentic. I'm not fully at a place where I could really allow people to get the best of me and who I really am. And so I just got to a point where I was just like, man, bump what everybody else talking about, and I just started I just got back to me, like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't about, okay, I want to make the crowd go crazy, or I want to be accepted by people anymore. It was just like, I gotta do what I do.
Right. And I mean, and you trailblazed something, at such a young age that a lot of people they never give you credit.
You never.
The
right person never get
give you
credit.
credit. So don't even look for people. They just never gonna do it, man. That's just how people are.
I mean, only the people like yourself who actually recognize it and see
listen
it.
to it. Yeah, I know.
Majority of everybody else, by the time they get onto what I have going on, like, they would never have known that I was doing this way before everybody else was doing it.
That's
So,
true, man.
but like at the end of the day, it is what it is,
Right. I know it is what it is, because it's like who you doing it for.
Right.
So okay, cool. So then now you're relocating to Orlando. Tell me about how that came
what
about.
that is about.
Man.
Why is that about?
Honestly, I mean, not to sound cliche or anything, but that's what God told me. That's what I'm supposed to be.
Oh, that's so cliche, Doc.
I know, but it's like it's weird. It's even weird for me because I actually love Jacksonville. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I've grown to take a liking to Jacksonville. I like what y'all have going on. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, it's kind of a long story.
Okay.
I don't want to die. I don't want to, because sometimes when I go to talking, you know what I'm saying, go off on a tantrum. I don't want to do that. I want to, you know what I mean?
Okay, so cool. So Orlando. Now, what's the first? Now, I know you've got an event coming on. We're gonna talk about that. But Travis had something to ask you. I'm sure Camille said something to ask you. But I'm doing a lot of talking. So go ahead, Travis.
That's the mic. So, you dropped the mixtape.
Right.
So what was the creative process behind that? Why'd you do that? And then why you had to jack all them beats and beat them up like you did?
Well, my purpose for the mixtape is pretty much just to give people something to listen to. Cause it's been a while since it's been like 2013 since I had actually had a real release. And so everybody been waiting on music, so they want an album. Everybody's just like, bro, you always giving us mixtapes, you always giving us EPs, like where is the album? Like, we need the album. Like, so I was like, I wanted to give them the album, but I want to take my time on it. You know what I'm saying? The album definitely is going to be way more in depth and more well-rounded than a mixtape or an EP. And so people was bugging, so I was just like, man, just got in the lab and just started going in, bro. I just downloaded secular beats that I know were hot at the time and that people can relate to, like secular ears will hear it and even give it a chance before knowing that it's Christian music or gospel music. So it was kind of, just let me catch these people ear, catch their attention again. Let me show them what I can do. Let me show them that I am a lyricist, that I do go hard.
Right.
And by the time I grasp their attention, by the time the album drop, which is it's not gonna necessarily be on the bars and how hard I go, but I have people ears, you know what I'm saying? And now at this point, you know what I'm saying, they can get what they really supposed to be getting.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of, you know, kind of formulated a little bit, but at the same time, it's kind of just let me go in, let me do my thing, let people see, you know what I'm saying, what I have to offer, pretty much.
All right, and to backtrack a statement you made earlier, coming to this side, what was the transition to move you from the street life to the Christ life?
It was hard. It was hard, man.
I hear you.
I could. Yeah.
I mean, coming from a place where, you know, in the country, I'm from Osceola, Georgia, a real small country town, like one stop, like,
real country town.
super small. So I ain't never really had no life application. When it came to the word of God coming up in the country, it was just like, say, hey, come to the altar, say this little prayer, and then it's like, you know, everything gonna be good. Like, God got you from here. Right. And so doing that and going back into my regular environment and, you know what I'm saying, everything I'm used to, it's just like,
Nothing's different.
like you give me a gun, you give a child a gun and send them out there to the war, you know what I'm saying, to the battlefield. They don't know how to use the gun. They never had instructions.
Right.
So it's just like you don't know what's going on really. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to defend yourself. You don't know none of that. So for me, it was tough, man. Coming out of the streets, I used to do, you know, I used to be on a lot of drugs, you know, X, which was real popping when I was back in the streets and stuff. XC, getting high, drinking, all that stuff. So, you know, coming from a place of doing that every day, like every day, literally not passing a day to God take this all away from me, it was tough, bro.
Yeah.
It was tough, but thanks to the grace of God and the mercy of God, like I'm still here, bro.
Right. Good.
So,
That's awesome.
Wow.
Okay.
but
Yeah.
it was a tough
Yeah.
transition though, bro, to say the least.
Say the least.
Okay, I want to know, how did you come up with your name?
I got my name when I first decided to actually give my life to Christ. I transitioned from Miami. I was in Miami doing some stuff out with Slip and Slide Records, and so God went to dealing with me. I ended up leaving that situation, going back home, and when I got back home, I realized, like, okay, if I'm really finna try to do right, like, I can't be in my same environment. So I ended up going to Savannah with one of my brothers by the name of G5, George Kell.
Okay.
And so they had a ministry up there called C2L, Commissioned to Love. It was kind of like a college ministry. So they had a home for the dudes. They had a home for females. They had a home for married couples. They had a home for single mothers. And so it was real big and it was real effective. And in the process of me going there, they had a class which they do 2 times every year, at the beginning of the year, towards the end, called the Process of Purity, which they teach you the biblical foundations of the Bible and what it means to learn how to pray and spiritual warfare and all that kind of stuff. And at the end of the 2 weeks, they have like an individual who has been watching everybody. Like they just stay back. They're not pretty much involved with everything else. They just stay back. They watch everybody. They peep everybody characteristics. You know what I'm saying? What type of person they are and everything like that. And they give everybody names that complete the process. So how they do it is they have all of the guys have Sir something in front of their name, Sir and whatever their name is, and the women are Lady and whatever their name is. So my name was Sir Thunderstrike.
Okay.
And so they gave biblical references. I know the one that I remember, it was a lot of them, but the one that really just stuck out to me was when the Israelites, I think, were being pursued by the Philistines. And God had they was about to kill them off or whatever, and God just like wanted to thunder and lightning, and went going crazy. And it scared the Philistines, and they didn't know what the heck was going on. So in the pursuit of the Israelites, they turn around. So the Israelites, as they running, they still looking back, trying to see how close up these guys are on them, and they realize, like, dang, you know what I'm saying? They running. So the Israelites turn around, and they ended up chasing down the Philistines and slaying them down. So they were just saying, like, the power of God, you know what I'm saying? It displays the power of God, the passion that I have behind what I do and stuff like that. So, yeah, so they I just took that and kind of ran with it. So people just started calling me T-Strike or just Strike.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's so great.
Nice.
Okay, so
That's
I
good.
have a question. Do you mind if I ask you how old you are?
No problem at all. But you gotta guess first. You gotta take a guess first.
Because
I'ma
I'm
put you on the spot.
listening.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
listening to
'Cause I'm
you.
listening.
I
I'm
had-
like,
I had
okay,
that thought in
he
my
can't be
head.
that old, but this is a lot. That's happening. Right? This is a lot.
Like I'm 19.
I'm gonna give you. I know, right? Because I'm like,
My
okay.
God, man, you
Now
went
I
through a
have to
whole
ask.
lot.
Okay, so I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna put you. I still think it's too young, but 28.
Perfect. That rarely happens. Everybody be like, you look like you about 16. Well, not like 17, 18.
I mean, because
19.
you look younger than that, but there's not enough time
For me to know the information
Yeah, I
about
said,
it.
okay,
Yeah.
he's got to be a little bit older, but he doesn't look. You look great. I'm like, all right, this is intense right now.
It's gonna pay off when you get
You
older.
know, you look great.
Hey, I love it. I don't
Okay, so
take it for
28.
granted.
Okay, good. Okay, so I noticed you are wearing a ring. So are you married?
No, it's a purity ring.
Oh.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I'm dating.
Okay, so let me
Yeah,
think.
get
Soon
on
to
it.
be.
So
Yeah.
what? Now your appearance. How do you manage your appearance with people? Like I'm fine with it. We're all fine with it.
Yeah.
Right.
But how does this work in industry? Because and I know you're probably acceptable in the Christian hip hop industry, right?
Yeah.
But how does meetings go? How do you think people accept you? I love it. I mean, look at me.
honestly-
You know, I'm just saying. But
Right,
but that's me. So
I mean,
how
me
does that
personally,
been?
I love it. It's just me being me. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's not me trying to be like anybody else, or because I've heard, oh man, you trying to be like Young Thug. You got your nose pierced. You got this, your eye pierced, this, that, and the third. So I get that kind of stuff all the time, but I wasn't influenced. Like I wasn't like, oh, I'm really digging what he doing. Like, oh snap, like that's what's up. Now let me go get mine. It's stuff that I've been had wanted to do since I was younger, but I never did it.
Right.
And so I just got to a point in my life like, man, I'm gonna just do what you know what I'm saying, do what makes me happy, as long as it's nothing that really goes against God, you know what I'm saying,
Right,
the biblical standards of God. So for me sometimes I normally try and hide it, but my manager, Miss Kiki, she always be like, no, I sometimes be like, okay, we're going into this church, I might need to, you know, I don't mind, but I might need to tuck my nose ring again. She be like, no, like that's you, that's who you are, you gotta be yourself. So
That's what they want.
she helped me, you know what I'm saying, in the area of just being free, you know what I'm saying, at all times. So, but I mean, like, it's been going well. Like, don't anybody that get a chance to talk to me and get a chance to know me, they accept me for who I am. Now I know like it does throw people off sometimes, because I remember this one church I went to, this older lady, I got up, I went in, I sat down in the back, and you know, they didn't know who I was. They never seen me before. The guy who was over the youth ministry, I had a relationship with him, so he was the only person who knew me. So I come in, I sit down, I had my dreads, the tip of my dreads, they was green, like lime green, real bright. So it was I just did something different. Like I just like to be different. Like everybody got red hair, orange hair, so let me do something different. And so I go in there and I sit down, and I'm just chilling. And you know, we get about midway into the service, and then bruh called me up to do my thing or whatever. So I do my thing, and I come back, and at the end of the service, this lady walk up. She got a head full of gray hair, like she real old.
Yeah.
And she was like, I ain't gonna lie. She was like, I was being real judgmental of you when you first came in here. She was like, I was like, look at him sitting over there with his green dreads, with his piercing and all this and that and the third. And she was like, but you really changed my whole thought process. You changed my whole perspective. You changed everything that I thought about you from when I first saw you.
Wow.
From seeing you perform. And she was just like, man, you so full of God. You this, you that. And like, just continue to let God use you. And it was beautiful. I think it was beautiful to me.
I think it's more impactful
Right.
when you are this,
Yes.
saying what you're saying,
Yeah.
and with depth. You speak with not just puffed up knowledge, but you speak with a relationship with God, an experimental kind of, perspective. Not that I'm talking about a book that I've read,
Right.
but I'm
Right,
talking
right,
about
right.
a God that I've experienced.
Personal.
So you know what I'm saying, and I think that it's incredible, because I'm looking at you, I'm like, this is really,
Mother
really
Jenkins was
good.
finna exile you.
my God.
Yes, bro. Yes,
you was done at that church.
She already had. It's like and I just find it, like I say, enlightening that she would, like, it took a lot. It probably had to take a lot for her to come out, being a mother, or, you know what I'm saying, that type of person of the church, and be straight up, because you know them people be siding their ways. Like they can know they wrong, like they can know they downright wrong, but they ain't gonna let you know they wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So what you got coming on?
Wait, but I have to ask.
Okay.
Did your nose piercing hurt? Because I was just like, this piece of my nose.
Honestly, it didn't. I want one more. I want to get a bar in my ear.
Woo.
But I just doubt, and that's the last thing I want. But I don't like.
Have you
needles.
ever seen somebody get that done? A bar? That's an interesting process. I just want you to know.
Nah, I think out of all the things, like, I think that'll really hurt. Like, I think that'll be painful, but I'm pain tolerant though. So like needles, like tattoos, and just piercing and stuff it don't really affect me like that.
What you got going on?
Yeah,
I can't tell. I'm ready for the next subject. I'm getting lightheaded. So what do you have coming up? What's going on? Tell us how to get to know everything.
Oh man,
Advertise.
Social media, tstrike229. That's TSTRIKE 229. That's for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can also visit my website, tstrike229.com. Everything is tstrike229. So I have a concert coming up on the 29th with Brinson here in Jacksonville, Instajam, which will be his 10th year anniversary for his label, and you know, him getting it in with the music. I'm working on new music, man. I don't have a release date just yet, but I have some dope things and dope ideas, and that's about it. Miss Kiki, am I leaving out anything?
Kiki, when he missing something, you know. What he missing? Tell him what he missing.
Oh, October the 7th. Oh yeah. See, that's why you have a manager.
You got a manager.
Absolutely.
That's why you have a manager. So you put all that responsibility on them, and I can just focus on music. But so yes, August the 7th, Cocoa Beach.
Okay.
We will be doing something with the Real Church, Pastor Jarvis Wash. We will be doing I Got the Juice back to school concert.
I got
Nice.
Also November the 5th, we will be doing Wrap It Up for Christ, which is hosted by my manager, Miss Kiki.
Nice.
That'll be here in Jacksonville as well at Forward Christian Center. So
okay, yeah.
those are the things that I have coming up. Like I say, you can check out the website, tstrike229.com. It has the dates and everything on there. I'm probably forgetting some stuff, but
You can connect there. Awesome. So T-Strike. Well, let's go into a song.